Hey everybody, it's Friday, which means it's time to get you going on the Atlanta Falcons and the Raiders game. Raiders headed into Mercedes-Benz Stadium to play the Falcons this Sunday, and Sam Gordon and I are here to get you updated. First of all, I want to say that Jon Gruden spoke Friday afternoon. He said Trent Brown is back in the building, but we shouldn't get our hopes up yet. Same thing goes for Clelin Ferrell. Sam, what is the current status of these guys?
Yeah, Heidi, first we'll start with Clelin Ferrell. He is still kind of up in the air, questionable for Sunday, very much up in the air. Obviously, the Raiders want to have him. He is their best, one of their best run-stopping defensive linemen. They really missed his presence out there, the way he can set the edge and just kind of wreak havoc on that defensive line. They missed him Sunday doing that against the Chiefs, so they really want him out there. But he's still up in the air. I mean, he's recovering from the coronavirus, very serious ordeal, as we know, and kind of a wait and see type of thing. As far as Trent Brown is concerned, it looks like he's going to be returning to the practice field on Wednesday, which is going to be a welcome sight for the Raiders and for Raiders fans. Just going to try and ease him back into the flow. Not necessarily sure when he's going to play, but getting on the practice field is a good start. The offensive line has been outstanding in his absence, but he is the highest paid right tackle in football, or was at one point. I'm not sure if he still is. And with that, they want him out there. They want him to play. They know what he is capable of. So definitely a positive sign that both of those guys might be back in the fold, but too soon to say anything definitive yet as far as their status moving forward.
All right, so Sam, this week the Raiders have brought on a couple other defensive players, McKinley as well as Beasley. Where do we see them coming into the fold anytime soon? And Jon Gruden also mentioned Chris Smith maybe getting some more reps.
Yeah. As far as bringing these guys in, I mean, proven pass rushers, Vic Beasley especially, recording. I mean, he had a season where he had 15 or 16 sacks earlier in his career. Wasn't quite as productive this year with Tennessee, but the former Atlanta Falcon has shown promise throughout the course of his career, shown that he can get after the passer. So they're not sure where he's going to contribute. Still on the practice squad for now, but high upside kind of pickups with him. And then, of course, McKinley, whom you mentioned, it seems like he's still a ways away. He's had some physical issues throughout the course of the year that he's trying to work through. But again, another proven pass rusher, a guy that has had 7 or 8 sacks in a season before in his career, a former first-round pick. So the talent is there. We're just going to have to wait and see. Nothing imminent as far as those guys actually joining the team and being out there and being ready to contribute. As far as the rest of that defensive line is concerned, I mean, Chris Smith is a veteran. He's a guy that has played in this league and can contribute. He's not necessarily your prototypical get after the quarterback, high volume sack guy, but right now the Raiders are just trying to figure out anything that works because, as we know, they have struggled getting after the passer all year. They struggled on Sunday against Patrick Mahomes, and they're second to last in the NFL with only 11 sacks. I mean, we've played 10 games, they only have 11 sacks. So that pass rush is ailed all year, and this is an opportunity, right, on Sunday. The Atlanta Falcons just last week against the New Orleans Saints surrender 8 sacks. So maybe there's a chance that if you can find the right configuration of defensive linemen, you generate a little bit more pressure and you slow down that high-octane Atlanta Falcons offense. Only 3-7, but we know they can score the ball with Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, and Calvin Ridley when they're all right. So you don't want him to have too much time in the pocket. Maybe Chris Smith can contribute in a way to limit that for Matt Ryan and force a little bit of pressure there.
We're going to see just how fresh Matt Ryan is on Sunday after that beating he took from the Saints defense, Sam, as you mentioned there. And that brings up something interesting because Gruden was talking about just how fresh the Raiders might be after going to Atlanta and then heading over to New York, because originally they were planning to stay over. So let's hear from Jon Gruden on what he had to say about that.
When we initially made the schedule, we were going to stay on the East Coast and reduce the flight time, but obviously, given these circumstances, we have to do what's right, and we're going to do that. Do what the protocols advise us to do. But good point.
West Coast to East Coast to West Coast to East Coast, all in the span of 6 or 7 days. I mean, that is taxing. I mean, we know from traveling, and we're not professional athletes, and we don't do it necessarily as frequently, and aren't expected to go out there and give 110%. For 3 or 4 hours during a game and then practice the next day and so on and so forth. So definitely something that can be a little bit of a challenge, but that's where we're at this year, Heidi, with the pandemic, with everything that's going on. I don't need to tell you that. That's not breaking news. We see that the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers had to postpone their game until Tuesday. So it's just kind of a wonky year, and the Raiders know that, and they understand it's about adjusting and adapting and just kind of getting through. And so far they're 6-4. They have a stretch here with the Falcons, with the Jets, of two teams that are reeling, that haven't had the kind of the year that they've wanted to have. very, very crucial for the Raiders to come out and play well in both these games. And regardless of what happens, given that it's 2020, given the context of the situation that we're in, the travel isn't going to be used as an excuse. We know Jon Gruden. We know he's not going to make any excuses. It's about going out there and producing and taking care of business on this road trip before coming back home to Allegiant Stadium for a nice little homestand there before the end of the year. So it's definitely a crucial game. I expect a high-scoring game. Both of these teams can score points. Both of these teams struggle a little bit on defense. I think the Raiders are a little bit more polished, but the Falcons have firepower. So can't wait for Sunday. Definitely going to be a fun matchup.
We will have you covered from that spot that Sam just mentioned as well, with Vegas Nation Game Day, that taking place on Sunday, 9 a.m. on Vegas time. And the whole crew will be there, from Sam Gordon, Vinny Bonsignore, Ed Graney, Adam Hill, Cassie Soto, Leandre Fox, Kevin Cannon. I think that's everybody, and me. We're going to be out there. So everybody make sure to tune in to that on Cox Your View Channel 14 on your local listings there. And we will also have you covered on VegasNation.com and with the Vegas Nation app. So for Sam Gordon, I'm Heidi Fang. Thank you for watching.